Alright, so it's another beautiful day working at the shop. I get to pet my dog, and you'll notice there's a big empty spot. There's a slot in my parking lot there. What do you think about that, Stella? You like the slots in the parking lot? That's because that's where the Comanche once was for many months. It's now up on the lift. You know, I gotta say, you try to help out a friend, and I don't know if it's worth it sometimes. Well, I like my friends, but oh my gosh. I mean, sort of feel like I'm being taken advantage of. It needs new U-joints. It needed the drive line put back in, which was all messed up. It needs fuel lines. They're split up here. It needs all the fluids changed. It needs brakes. It needs ball joints. It needs the vent tube hooked back up, which goes up in there. It needs an oil change. It needs a tune-up. And it needs the front end put back on it. And it's like, Mark, can you just kind of do that for me for free? Okay, well, that's tough, but I'll do what I can. So this Comanche's going to live again, and it hit a deer. I don't know if I reminded you of the story. Hit a deer a few years ago. Nobody could figure out why it wouldn't start. Turns out the brush guard that was right here pinched some of these wires that go to the computer. Even had me flustered for some time. I took the computer out. I knew it wasn't getting power. I knew the coil wasn't getting power. But it's just like one thing after another. This thing is so rough. So let's get working on it and just see where it goes. And you guys can enjoy all the dents and the rust and the dirt clods and the mud and the broken taillights and the broken exhaust and the janky trailer hitch that I can't believe is held on by just this little tiny bracket. Nobody's going to tow. I hope nobody tows anything with that. That's just not going to work. Let's get to work. Let's make it run. Okay, so we're still chipping away on my buddy's 1989 Jeep Comanche, and just want to talk with you a little bit about ethics, I don't know, business, combination of both. So he lent it to a family member who hit a deer. When it hit the deer, unknowingly it's cut the wires, which rendered the truck useless, but the truck's not in that great a shape. So, you know, he was desperate, needed a place to put it so that it didn't get stolen or left for vandals. So I offered to take it in, and then, you know, I find that it needs tune-up, oil change, every U-joint, every joint is dry, and I really want to fix all that stuff, but I'm afraid I won't get paid. Really, he's a nice guy, but doesn't have any money, and he just thinks I can work for free. So that's my conundrum. That's my what do you do for friends? I mean, how far do you go? I've been down this path a couple times. I mean, I get it. The truck's got a lot of sentimental value to him. It's not worth much value-wise, but to him it's worth everything. It's pretty beat. It needs everything, and I mean everything. But I want to help the guy out, so we'll probably come to some type of compromise, I hope, and we'll see how it goes, because, you know, friendships get funny when you talk about money. It's funny when somebody expects you to just fix something in your free time. I don't have any free time. I mean, I have a fleet of cars of my own. I'm super busy at the shop. I have a family. I have 2 housing projects going on at home. There's no free time. And for someone to expect you to do it for free, it's a bit of a slap in the face. But I'm not sure that's the case. We'll find out. But I think I'm going to have to give him a buddy deal, or half the invoice or something. It's just, you know, I've got the parts involved in this thing, if nothing else, my labor. You know, 8 hours of labor. So that's my conundrum for today. We're going to see if we can get this thing to fire up. Let's do that right now. Let's fire it up. So this thing had no breather hoses. There was a this little guy, which is a vacuum nipple, was completely unsealed. I replaced the fuel lines. Doesn't have a lot of gas in the tank. I changed the oil, checked all the fluids in the front diff, the rear diff, added brake fluid, transfer case, transmission, put a battery in it, and, well, Let's see the fruits of our labor, if there is any. Shall we? Let me get in here. I gotta put the dash back together. Okay. Got a light. Got some buzzing noises. Driveline is in it, but it's in neutral. That should be fine. Let's give it a whirl. Oh. Oh. And of course the battery's connection's bad. Okay, this one was loose. I heard the fuel pump prime. Let's try that again. Come on, baby. Let's fire up. Come on. There we go. Oh, she's got exhaust leaks. Manifold's cracked right down there. But it runs. Runs good enough. Well, let's see what we can do. Let's get it back to my buddy and hopefully he'll be happy.